What's up, quarantine world? David Sterling Reed here with Alex and Philip. This time we're talking Holland and Brazil. Hit the subscribe, set up the notification. Let's go. All right. How do you guys feel about this coronavirus stuff, man? It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, man. In Holland, everyone has kind of a different mentality towards it, I would say. In Holland, like here, it's a country where like if you're sick and you go to the doctor, they'll measure like see what you have, give you paracetamol and tell you to go home. Like they hardly ever tell you to like take antibiotics. They're like extremely against using them. So I think that's like it's like kind of ingrained in their society. So everybody kind of having different reaction to coronavirus in most countries, I would say. Yeah. Now, there's some people who are obviously taking it seriously. I mean, we are taking it seriously. We're in our house. I think we only leave to go to the supermarket, which is like a 4-minute walk. That's it.
Okay.
So he has been closed, man, for it's almost a month now. But we have friends who, are going out for walks or, going out for bike rides, going to the beach. Like the beach up in Hague, which is like, I don't know, like 40 minutes by tram. 2 days ago, I was just checking out, there's a webcam, and I was just checking out the waves, man. There's like a bunch of people in the water. And so it's quite different, like, because if you, like, I have some friends in Italy too, and like they're all super worried there.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty fucked. And in Spain as well.
Let's start, since we're already kind of touching on it. Let's just go through these. Welcome to the podcast, Philip, Alex. Why don't you guys just introduce yourself? Tell us where you're. Yeah, everyone who's watching, when you watch this, you might not notice, but these guys look very German. We met each other where was it? In Lombok, right? Gili T, the island. They were nice enough to let me sleep on their floor because I was planning on like hammock in this like weird bungalow thing. So I actually slept on the floor of their hostel after having a good night and doing a backflip off that boat. You remember that? The boat? That was crazy.
I don't even remember meeting you there, but yeah, it was just how did like you ended up sleeping on the floor, man?
I don't like where we met exactly. I'm not quite sure either, but there was a big party on the beach. I know that for sure. But they look super German. Believe it or not, they're actually from Brazil. But why don't you guys tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what you do?
All right. Okay. So I'll start. I mean, I'm Alexander Esle. I study here in the Netherlands now. I'm studying applied earth sciences. It's an engineering degree, basically more like mining and petroleum engineering, that kind of area. 22 years old. I come from Brazil, moved here to study, basically. Yeah, my name is Philip, and we study the same thing, conveniently. Yeah, we moved from Brazil to the Netherlands to study here 3 years ago. 4 years ago. It's been a while. So far, really been enjoying living in the Netherlands. It's quite different from Brazil, just like society-wise, just the entire structure of things here. Pretty crazy situation at the moment.
What was the perception of the general public in Holland when it was in China? Obviously, everyone was like, whatever, it's just China, it's a Chinese problem. And then what happened when it went to Italy, Germany, and then to Holland? You said people are still laxed, or what's going on?
Yeah, people are still relaxed. Most people were like, this is blown out of proportion, People, this is media going, at it, hyping the situation up. I think that was going on for quite a while. Like people knew about this coronavirus, and they were like aware of it. Some people were anxious. Most people were like, don't worry about it. So much that like our university like only closed a month ago, and while most universities in the rest of Europe had closed already, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ahead. So yeah. Oh, so we had a case in our university, and then it took like 2 weeks from the first case for the university to close. So yeah.
Really?
It was a girl from aerospace. Apparently, like I can't. Don't quote me on this. Apparently, like her roommates went to some party. 2 weeks later, like university is still going on. Like some people were quite pissed.
This is like it's one of the slower reacting countries, I guess, in all of Europe. I guess Sweden is still not really doing much. I think their universities and stuff are shut, but yeah, as far as social distancing and all that stuff goes, they still are in the park, midsummer stuff, whatever. Yeah. No, like I feel people are way more relaxed here, and
but it's also like we've seen that Italy was quite pissed at the Netherlands for not, doing their part. I don't know how much you follow European politics, but
recently a lot, but before that, no.
yeah, but yeah, right now there's this rift basically between the northern countries and the southern countries, because the southern countries have been hit the hardest. That's like Spain, Italy, and France now, and the northern countries, Netherlands, Belgium, the Scandinavian countries as well. They're more relaxed about it, and then the southern countries, they want a Eurobond, which is basically they want to borrow money from the European Union. But the Germany, the Netherlands, and the Scandinavian countries, they don't want to do it because basically they're gonna have to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Like they contribute the most to the European Union, and Italy and Spain, sort of, just they take a lot more money than they put in, and like for the taxpayer here, the northern countries, they're like, yeah, man, like, why the heck should I be paying for Italy's lack of infrastructure? Like it's so there's this debate going on, there's this rift going on, and like I'm actually quite curious to see how it develops, because a lot of people are saying this could be the end of the European Union.
Whoa, really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's a bit far-fetched.
Yeah, I think it's far-fetched as well. But I mean, if people are thinking about it, then it's a symptom, right? It's something's not working, right? So I don't know how many dominoes need to fall for that to actually really happen. But in a crisis like this one, you need to be able to act, in a matter of weeks, not months. And the European Union takes months to decide things, which is good, which is what you want from a democracy, but not in a crisis situation. So, so what? I don't know. A lot of people are criticizing the EU for not reacting quickly enough, and shutting down borders cohesively, and
they kind of left it up to the states, right, or each country.
Yeah, which, to be honest, I think that's the reasonable thing to do, because Italy is much worse affected than Denmark, for example. And why should Denmark have such a closed system if it doesn't need to at the moment?
Yeah.
And
well, speaking of at the moment, do you think they will? I mean, so Italy had if you watch the podcast with Davide Coleman, Italy had their first case in January, the middle of January, but he said people were having these weird cases of pneumonia back in December. So they were kind of hit with it. And I think it's because Milano and in Rome, and it's a huge touristy place, and people are coming in and out of there, all the time. Whereas Denmark, not so much. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but I would have to say like Denmark probably has like 10 times less tourism than Italy in general. Yeah. So I mean, are they just behind? Maybe they're just behind, as the states were just behind Italy, maybe Denmark behind.
And also like the like one of the reasons why the Netherlands isn't like super strict on like staying at home and like locking down the streets and everything is because the hospitals here have quite a large capacity for, like, there's quite a lot of ICU beds, I think they're called, and they have quite a lot of ventilators, so they don't really need to control it that much. But like that can be seen as not a very good tactic if the situation gets out of control. But like, I don't know, like the Netherlands has this kind of different medical opinion than most other countries.
They let you kill yourself in the Netherlands, don't they? If you want.
Well, like it's not so simple. Like,
okay.
If you get,
have you looked into it, Philip, or what?
Yeah, I saw some like. Like it was a really interesting documentary. Like,
so what about Brazil? They're super, super relaxed. I'm sure they don't even care. They're like, bring it. We don't care. What's up?
Brazil is fun.
I'll have some caipirinhas and kill that shit. What's up?
Brazil is honestly fucked.
Like if it breaks out there, they're done for.
No, it is. It broke out already. Yeah. Like I saw an article today that infections that they say the confirmed ones. They say that number should be 15 times higher.
That's what Italy said. So, I mean, China just came out today. I read an article. I don't know how true it is or not, but they said that the true deaths in Wuhan was like 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 deaths higher than. So
That's Chinese reporting, so it's
yeah, but it seems to be everybody, no? Like we're doing it.
Yeah, and I really don't get why. Just like this is the time to be honest. You know, this is not like a
Exactly.
situation stuff. Like this is like, you know, this is happening. Let's deal with it. You know, going back to Brazil, like what's interesting there, like compared to other countries, is that our government is super divided about it. Like our federal government, so that's the president. He says it's just the flu. The president is saying this, and he just like I think 2 days ago he fired the health minister over some different ideology views. I don't know. It was some crazy shit. So basically, it's a chicken without a head. Basically, like I mean, thank God, a lot of the governors of the states are doing a tremendous good job. Like the Doria, the guy, the president, governor
of the state of São Paulo.
Of the state of São Paulo, extended the lockdown. You know, he's trying to keep it strict. And Rio is also doing a good job. Like all these different states, they're doing a good job. But the federal government is like, I mean, the president, he has a really good team though, like which is thankfully saving a lot of the crisis. But like, it's still a mess because it's everything is split. Like nobody knows what's going on. No, we have no leader. Like, what the heck?
It's weird because the Speaker of the House in Brazil got the virus. What, like 3 weeks, two or 3 weeks ago?
Man, like 14 people who worked with him who went together the virus, and he went to hospital to get it checked, and like his son said he had it, and then like the test said no. Like it was just like major cover up, man. Like we sometimes like, I mean, I'm really pissed at the situation because like, come on, this is a serious topic, and he's obviously not taking it serious. Or he's belittling the situation. He's, you know, saying, you know, it's people are gonna die anyway, so let's just open up the economy again. Like, sure, you can have that as a private thought, but you can't say that, like, not as a president, you know.
Of course, the cold logical thing to do or to say is like, if you don't want to hurt the economy, yes, you have to keep things open. But and yes, people will die, but that's not how you weigh out risks. Like, would you choose to go out and, you know, possibly get infected? That's not like an ethical thing to do.
So what's it like there then? What's it like in Holland? Is everyone working online? Is school online?
Everything is online. I know, like I was supposed to present at an event and that was canceled. I think they rescheduled that to August. So like,
yeah, a lot of things are getting pushed back. So we had exams canceled and pushed back to Q4, which technically
July.
starts in July. To be honest, the level of organization it's pretty bad as well. Like,
given the circumstances, like it's good. Like like we have like materials online, and we can, you know, if the lecture is like a discussion lecture, which is never the case for engineering. Like
never.
They have like you know, Zoom, and then I don't know, just have discussions. But for us, it's just like, we have notes, and we have like previous recordings of old lectures, and then we just have to watch that.
Yeah, it's been very confusing for everyone. So some of the classes are well organized. Some of them are not well organized at all.
Right.
So it's just you have no orientation. I have no idea when my exams are going to be. I have no online lectures. I have nowhere to check. You know, the guy's not replying to his emails. So,
are they putting at least like the PowerPoints that they normally present? Are they putting those online?
Like that's online, but
yeah.
Okay.
When like I was supposed to have another 2 exams this week,
Mm-hmm.
it got postponed because the teachers wanted them to be not online. But since the semester, like the university basically canceled all lectures and exams until September.
Yeah,
like
as an in-person lectures and in-person exam.
Yeah, so everything's online until September.
So they are planning at least for longevity. Like from what it sounded like, it was like they're just saying, "Oh, this might last a month, so let's just kind of BS it and hope for the best, but everything will be back to normal in like a month." But they're planning till September at least.
Yeah. That was like their original thought. Like, okay, we're just gonna cancel it until
July,
until 20th of and like
super optimistic, these people. I love Holland, man. They're like, whatever, just go to the coffee shop. It'll be open soon enough. Don't worry about it.
They have you can order it from delivery now.
Yeah.
Oh, you can from the coffee shops. Well, at least they still got their weed situation figured out pretty nicely.
At least that works.
They can't get the education right, but they get the weed sorted.
Come on, like I think they should, I can't complain, to be honest. But like the market, which is on like farmers market, that's open.
Is the farmers market in Rotterdam or is it in Delft?
It's every
in Delft.
little, yeah.
So walk me through like a day in the life of that and what the people look like. Are they preparing for the virus? That kind of thing.
Most people were like hoarding pasta and like like canned stuff. And
Did y'all have toilet paper or no?
Yeah,
No
no,
toilet.
yeah,
we had stock before.
yeah. Like I think like things ran out, but it was just I think for the first like 4 days there was like that you would go to the supermarket like in the afternoon and then like you would only find 1 or 2 bags of pasta. Yeah. But like after that, like now the supermarkets are completely full all the time.
Yeah.
But like not a lot of people go in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
It's like you don't see so many people.
Yeah,
I think it's more spread out.
Yeah, they also introduced in the supermarkets that you have to use one of the like little cars now, even though if you just need to buy like an apple, you still need to get a little car just so people keep the distance to each other.
Also, I went running in the park maybe 2 or 3 times.
Are
And,
people
like,
allowed to hang out in the park?
if you're a group of 3s and like if it's the same house, like if you live in the same house, then it's fine. When running and like there's old people running, there's
Yeah, even
families,
surprised, man.
kids.
Dude, it's only old people on the streets, man. Only at-risk groups. It's man, like all the people that I know, like our age, like they're keeping to the schedule, like they're staying at home. And go out on the streets, man. It's only old people. Like,
So what are some funny things you guys have seen besides the only old people out walking around on the streets? That's so strange. But do you guys have any funny stories or funny weird things?
Yeah, a friend of mine, they live at this like student high rise, 500 units. Most of them are just drinking every single day. Every morning, they do like a drinking challenge. So one roommate of every like unit goes down on the street in front of the building, so that everybody on the building like watching, cheering, and like slapping the side of the building. Like they're chugging and like.
Every morning.
Yeah, every morning. Like.
yeah.
Good morning. Now that everything's kind of gone online and remote, businesses, school, some people that have stuff that needs to be done online were already, but they're not having to pay now for offices and stuff. Some other countries are using this as like a trial period, to see if they can take things online, to see if it is more effective, if people work harder. Do you think in Holland that they'll try to keep things online to avoid, all the stuff that comes with going to class and all that? Or do you think right when this is done, boom, you're back at school?
I think they're gonna put us back in school.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna like prepare a lot more stuff, like a lot more online content. So like not all the lectures we can find them online, like recording of lectures. I think they're gonna like try to make sure that all the lectures have online recording.
Yeah, that would be good.
I think they will definitely have this period. Like I think more courses will see that it's possible to just do an online exam, and it's not such a bad scenario. Like the exam we had today was like it was a tough exam, but like it was good. Like I didn't feel too much of a difference from having an exam, in a classroom somewhere where, like university needs to like, hire people to watch over the exams. And there's like, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of exams. I think it's like 500 exams per quarter.
Yeah.
So they hire quite a lot of people and all of this stuff happening simultaneously. It's like quite a big logistical nightmare. So yeah. I think if they see that, these online exam situation works, I think they might, be more keen in doing more online exams.
It would be nice, to be honest. I mean, as long as you have an option, I think it's great. Like to see, like if they get this system to work, like it's good to have that option that you can shift from one to the other quite seamlessly, like without a lot of. I think that's good. But in terms of a job, like as a normal job here in the Netherlands, people here in the Netherlands they value like social time, like time with family. and time away from the job quite a lot. Like it's very common that once you get like to like between like late 40s, 50s, that you get an extra day off, or you have shorter working days and stuff like that.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what you work with.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of people can get that, like here in the Netherlands. Like they're really generous with the amount of the work hours. So I think that now that more people are working online, there's a lot of people are gonna see that, you know, this isn't too bad. Like I actually like doing this. You know, if I can go to the office 3 times a week, but maybe then to the other 2 I work from home.
Right.
More time with my family. I think people are gonna see that, and they're gonna say, look, you know, can I just work from home because it was working great? Like, and then if it was working great, the boss would probably be like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, this is something actually really cool. Like working in the I did my internship here in the Netherlands, and what I saw is that like the difference between the boss and like you, the intern, is really small here. So, and everyone's about having a good time. Like everyone wants you to perform well. Like it's this idea of like the boss and the intern is non-existent here. It's like everyone's part of this group. Let's work together. So if they feel that the people want this and that they work better like this, they're happy like this, they'll probably do it. Like that's something really cool.
That's interesting.
What I like.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's in the US. Maybe.
Yeah, we're not sure. Like this is a huge thing. So a lot of people have gone online. A lot of companies have laid people off, unfortunately. But there's like an interesting caveat is like, if they can do it online, if they can transition everything online, where they're having their Zoom meeting in the morning, Zoom meeting at night, whatever it is, but then they're able to work whenever, because, you know, some people are morning people. I wake up at 5 a.m. But some people are night owls and stay awake until 2 a.m. because that's when they like to work. That's when they like to get things done. So as long as productivity increases or stays relatively the same, I don't see why people wouldn't be allowed the freedom to stay at home, not to mention the environmental benefits of taking everything online, right? The less cars on the road, less impact on the environment. Maybe it'll slow down global warming, all these other issues. And companies that are renting places in downtown, you know, it's super expensive to rent office space. So maybe they won't even need to rent. They can just take everything online. Maybe it'll slow productivity down a little bit, but maybe that cost is worth it. Instead of paying $250,000 a year in rent for a place, maybe it's worth it to take it back online and to keep it there.
But also, I mean, to be honest, we don't know how this virus situation is going to go, right? I mean, it could go a lot longer than summer, right? I mean, I don't know. A lot of people have this idea that by September, you know, this shit's under control. But I mean, it could go until next year.
Yeah. Gambling has increased. Alcohol purchases have increased. So, like, it's kind of interesting. I'm curious to see what is happening with Holland, because Holland is I mean, they're not actually big in smoking, but I mean, it is legal there.
Most people would be curious about the weed situation just because it's legal, but to most people's surprise, like most Dutch people don't smoke weed. And if they do, it's very casual. It's as if like, how many times a week do you take a shot? It's like, that's how many times a Dutch person, you know, takes a puff of weed. Like it's not so common.
Mostly the tourists.
Yeah. Just before like the government asked the people to close down stuff, like there was like huge like queues around the block for like because people just stocking up.
What about bread? Can you get bread still? Bakeries are open?
Bakeries, I think they're open. Yeah.
Like the ice cream shop in the city center is also open.
So just the necessities. Just bread and ice cream. Just yeah, I'm curious to see what's going to happen actually in Brazil, because it is summer still. You know, it's right now getting into like fall in Brazil. So like summer will help kill the virus, but as far as when it starts getting cold and wet again.
And people in Brazil are not very good with following
rules.
That's what makes the Brazilian people like awesome, but it's also what makes them like the situation much worse. Like
that's true.
But I mean, you gotta look. I mean, we're quite lucky, but a lot of people aren't, and I think that's also true for a lot of places in the world. Like also in the US, there's a lot of people who can't stay at home. You know, there's people that live paycheck to paycheck. You know, this is the end of the month. It's fast approaching us. You know, what are they gonna do? when the money's out. And in Brazil, it's like that, but squared. It's a bit more complicated because there's a lot more people in that situation. And
the one up we have on the US is that like we have the SUS, SUS, which is basically like free healthcare.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
But
I used it once in Brazil, actually.
Yeah. I went there a couple of times.
Yeah, but I mean, it is tough for these people living paycheck to paycheck, and it is kind of in LA. They just passed a thing saying you can't, during this COVID stuff, this coronavirus thing, you can't get kicked out of your house. So that's good. I mean, if you miss rent, you can't get evicted, but it's not like it disappears either. You have and you have a year to pay it off.
Who's paying that bill though? Like that's the problem. Like who's going to pay for that person not receiving the rent? Because maybe that other person who you're not paying rent to like needs that money to pay back, I don't know, some student loans or something.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, like that kind of just like snowballs.
Do you guys have a message for anybody out there? Like you want to tell people to be careful or be cautious or what? You guys are taking it seriously, but Holland maybe is not taking it so seriously.
Yeah, I mean, stay safe, be responsible, try to be happy, try to live normally as you can, just try to enjoy it. I don't know, man, like we're stuck in this, just try to enjoy it,
Prepare yourself financially as well for a pretty bad year and a half to come. I would limit my spending and I would just try to
learn from this, be observant, like see like this is happening, like why is this happening, what should we be doing instead, like what should I have done in order to be better prepared for a situation like this. Something like this happens again, which likely, I mean, it's going to happen again. Like what I'm prepared. I mean, statistically, it's a guarantee that we're going to get another virus some other day. If we keep eating bats and pangolins, then for sure, like it's like just how can we be more responsible so that we?
Did you say we keep eating? I haven't eaten a bat or a pangolin all.
I've eaten some weird shit, but like not pangolins and bats. That's for sure.
I didn't even know they had this weird anteater looking pangolin thing in this world. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, man. Looking forward. I mean, the future is pretty cool, man. I don't know. Like, I'm always optimistic about the future. I think there's always, new shit that we have to deal with, of course, but there's always new opportunities, new cool stuff happening. So, just roll with the punches and enjoy the ride.
How fun is that? Thank you so much, Alex, Philip. Guys, don't forget to head over to Sterling's World on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to set up notification. You don't want to miss another one.